What's up, pod pals? It's your buddy Adam, and you are checking out Podcasting Business School. This is the show where I teach podcasters how to love their show like a hobby, but build it like a business. And today we got a podcast audit episode with my friend Sam from the Autism Rocks and Rolls podcast. If you are a podcaster looking for some tips, for some podcasting tips around how to get more downloads, how to engage your audience, how to make some money as a podcaster, you're in the right place. Sam, welcome to the show, man. How's it going?
Thank you. It's good to be here, and I'm glad that you allowed me because you're right. My business is my podcast is a business, and I'm looking forward to growing it.
Yeah, well, you're serving a really an audience that isn't really super well served in the podcasting space. So I think that's really neat. You've got a lot of cool action going on with your brand as well. So can you tell me a little bit about what your show is about and what you're trying to accomplish with it?
Yeah, so it's called Autism Rocks and Rolls, and it's about autism and how we cope with daily struggles you may or may not understand. My mission really is to take the stigma off of autism and other conditions that may think are disabilities, and to show people on the spectrum and other conditions that they're not broken. They do not need to be fixed. There's no need for pittiness.
Yeah. Well, I love that message. I love that you're trying to impact people and you're leading by example. Like that's something that I think is super cool in the space. So where would you like to start as far as our brainstorming session here? We could talk about getting more downloads. We could talk about making money. We could talk about audience engagement stuff. What would be most helpful to you to hear?
Let's talk about getting more money, because I do get income, but I don't know like what else to do. I sell shirts, I sell merch, I sell ad space, I sell all the goodies, and yet some get Bob but not a lot. I don't know how do I get what's the big step, I guess is the way to put it.
Right. Okay. So well, let's go through that real quick, what you're already doing, what's already working. So when it comes to merch, are you direct shipping to people? Or are you having stuff made and you're shipping it out or giving it away? What's that process look like right now?
It's a little mixture of both. We sometimes go to the house and deliver and collect the money if they're close. Like we would do it with you if you bought a shirt. But if they're like this is going to make this, probably not, but in Japan, we got to mail it.
Okay. But you guys would mail it yourselves. Is that?
Yeah. With my editor and I would.
Okay.
To the post office.
So something to consider that may help and make everything easier is there's what I use for my merch is a service called Teespring, Tee Spring. And what you can do there is you can design whatever merch you want. You can slap your logo on about anything from phone cases to shirts to a Speedo swimsuit if you want to. Like you could be out there at Lake Monroe in your own branded Speedo if you want to, Sam. So that would be pretty. Yeah.
I put Teespring. And another thing we're trying to do is we help our sponsors with their events. Maybe that kind of helps as well. Yeah. Like we helped a sponsor with an event they did called Cast for Kids. It helps kids with disabilities go fishing. Yeah. Basically, it allows them to do that. And then we also have something else coming up in October, which is a special needs night on the 4th and the 8th with one of our other sponsors. So I don't know if that's like a good thing to do or not.
Yeah. Well, that's called co-branded events. And that like co-branding your show with an organization that you believe in, that's a great way to create monetization opportunities and make a little side money. Like you help them, they help you, and everybody gets served. So that's a great way to do it. Like, honestly, Sam, I think that, I made some notes for you here on my computer. I think one of the easiest ways that you can monetize at a higher level is with like a quarterly workshop. So
a workshop,
like an online Zoom workshop. It doesn't have to be in person. So it's nothing you aren't used to, but I think that you could do this in different ways, but I see it as you coaching and teaching other people that are on the spectrum how to run businesses, or maybe how to start podcasts, or how to, level up their career, or just whatever.
You're saying attend those?
What's that?
Are you saying like attend those, or?
I think you should host them, and
Host
and
them.
and,
Okay.
and
I wasn't for sure.
people pay you to
Okay.
attend your workshop that you're going to host and kind of mentor them at. And let's say you did one once per quarter, that would be 4 per year, and it's just kind of a doing business or how to start a business as a person on the spectrum sort of a workshop. I mean, that could be a loose idea,
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
but then you could teach people, like, here's how I make money as a podcaster, here's how I make money selling merch, here's how I get money as a speaker. And just, it's like a mastermind, and they pay you X amount of dollars to attend, and then they get value back from what you teach them. And if you do it maybe every 6 months, every 3 months, something like that, I probably wouldn't do it more often than that.
Yeah, you don't want to do too
You know,
much.
yeah, but that way each time you could kind of talk about it on your show for a while, and you put it out on social media. And if you have a newsletter list and things like that, YouTube page, and then you do the event and you get some testimonials, you use that on social media to promote the next one. I think you could really do well with it, Sam. And you know,
Yeah,
I think you can make thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I tried hosting a free. I used to host free ability speed networking events, what I called it, but due to the anxiety of some not coming or not knowing if like no one comes, I had to like stop it off the bat.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely don't want to stress you out with it. Like that's not going to be good. So, that's just an idea. I would view it like throwing a party more, instead of like an intense business environment. Like, I want it to be fun for you. I want it to be fun for the people that are there, and something that you really look forward
So maybe
to.
we should host a different type of event.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or even ask your audience and go, hey, you know, people that follow you on in Facebook, YouTube, your podcast, if you have a newsletter list, whatever, put a question out there and then go, hey, I'm thinking about maybe hosting an online workshop. What would be a must attend for you? Like, what topic would you be like, I am there, Sam, 100%, sign me up. Maybe you list a few, do like a little survey and just see what they say. And that way we can kind of pre-qualify the idea and go, all right, I've got lots of people interested in this. Or if you kind of get crickets, we know, like, all right, my audience isn't quite ready for this yet. And that way you don't have to stress out about it. Cause I've been there too, man. Like, I've done live events. I did a live event in Bloomington 3 years ago. So the year before the pandemic. And it was stressful. like you said, seeing if people are going to show up, worrying about it, like making sure the experience is good. It was stressful. Yep. So you got to take that in mind too.
Just them showing up. It's making sure, like, oh boy, hope they go out with a smile on their face.
Yeah. So, but I think as you can, I know you have a lot of brand partnerships. So are you doing sponsored ads on your show?
Sponsorships, ads. Yes, sir.
Okay. So how's that going? What's that look like right now?
Well, it looks like this. We offer mini sponsorships, which is like pay for the following. We just go like a tangent on them a little bit. And we have thank yous, a disclaimer, a credit, the pay for the following, a mission statement. And then the ads are just like 25 for a 35 second and 45 for a 60. So we definitely, that comes a lot of our income as well. Okay, so that's what we do for that.
And these are companies that you have a relationship with, or they're kind of affiliated with your core audience a little bit?
Well, we tried that at first, but I soon realized that if we just stick here, it's not going to work, in my opinion. I thought we need to branch out. We got to go all the businesses that are related and not related to autism. I mean, or somehow. I mean, I have some that are like Wellspring. They're not related to autism, but they're related to pain.
Yeah.
I have a chocolate shop. I mean, it's not related to autism, but it worked.
Yeah. People eat chocolate. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. So that's interesting. Do you have anything where, I call it a tip jar? Like, do you have anything set up where if people just want to give you money just to support the show, they could do that?
We just, people have done it before, but I think it ran out its course. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So, I mean, that's something that you could do. Like, I'm getting ready to launch a show with my 10-year-old son, and we're going to have, just a button that's simple, and it's going to go, hey, if you got any value out of this, you'd like to support what I've got going on, half the money he's going to put towards like his college education. The other half's going to go to a charity. So that's like, you could consider a promotion like that instead. I think when podcasters do it wrong, it's more of like, hey, if you want to support me, you can give me some money, and that's where it ends. Right. But if you go, here's what I'm doing with that, and part of it is going to support this charity that I support or whatever, that's something that you could consider that may work also. So
I was going to ask you too, what about guests? Because I have had lucky enough to have some major guests like James Durbin, Temple Grandin, Mick Foley. I've had the honor to have that. That was an exciting time. But I want like more, and I'm starting to think that this Facebook Messenger and Gmail, I'm not saying like it doesn't work, but I think it's starting to work less than something else. Like, I'm old fashioned school. I'm a phone call guy. I'm like, hello, and tell you straight up to your face what I want.
Yeah.
So when I call like a publicist, because I know to do that, I have a website, I call it a secret website, to find the information. Like, I know I have like a full on script, but is there something else I could say that would be more persuasive to them?
As far as getting bigger guests on?
Yeah, let's say I want to call, I'm going to make someone. Let's say I'm going to call, let me think of someone here. Kanye West's publicist. And I say the script. Is there something else I could say that would make the publicist more interested to where he might want to be like, oh, I got to tell Kanye West?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the angle you take is who you're trying to serve. And that's either going to resonate with them or not. And that's like how you have to cut to the chase. And like, I am the host of the Autism Rocks and Rolls podcast. You could even call it a media company.
I always do.
I mean, that's a good way to brand it and say, and we are serving, and you just lay out your audience that you are trying to serve. I think you would be, and then you'd say why you think they'd be a great guest. I would think you'd be a great guest because of XYZ, and we would love to invite you to come on the show. Then you may even rattle off a few of your previous guests that have said yes, that have a large following, like the people you just mentioned. We've had people such as and that will give some social credibility as well. And like if you think that one of your previous guests would really relate to their brand, I would say I'm going to send you an email or a message on Facebook or Instagram with the link to episode blah blah where I interviewed this person, which I think you may it may be something that way you can see how we would interact with somebody at this level. So something like that, I think it's either going to resonate or not. That's the bottom line. You're going to get plenty of no's, which I'm sure but
I think I've had more no's than yeses, so don't worry about that.
Now, like, let's say, when you get a bigger name person like Mick Foley on, and I mean, I wouldn't hesitate at the end to go, hey, I know that you'd probably know this person. Do you know their like publicist, or could you have your person make a warm introduction to them for me? Like leveraging that. That's going to get you through the gatekeeper faster than anything. And I wouldn't be like, hey, could you personally make an introduction? It'd be more.
And that's my biggest concern is with people have asked me for the contacts, and I don't because of the privacy, and I want to respect their privacy. I don't want to ask Mick Foley, go find Al Snow's contact for me, because it's just a privacy issue for me. I'm afraid I'm going to invade their privacy.
Yeah.
I put my fear in myself for that.
Yeah. And I mean, I would just go, hey, do you know the publicist for whoever you want? If you do, I'd love a warm introduction to them, because I think they'd be a great guest on my show. So if you get somebody at that level just to make an intro to the publicist or their booking agent or whatever, you're in, man. Like I've booked plenty of bigger name people for my shows just by getting a warm introduction. That's gold. Or if somebody writes a book and you notice that the foreword of the book was written by somebody that you want to interview, Like you go, hey, I noticed that so-and-so wrote the forward to your book. Do you think you might be able to make a warm introduction to their booking agent or whoever handles their schedule? Because I'd love to invite them to come on the show as well. That's easy. That's just a quick, I'll text you, or I'll kick you an email, make the introduction. I'll have my person do that or whatever. So floating that idea, I think will get you a long way, Sam. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
So who else are you looking for your show? Like we can put it out here. Maybe somebody has some contacts for you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to host season 2. I'm doing another season. So what I've decided to do was finish up season 1, really. Take a hiatus. But then I'm going to do season 2. But I guess one season 2 that season 2 gets, I could come on a little early if they want to, is Keanu Reeves.
There you go. Neo.
His life has been so... He has probably one of the most tragic lives of all, but he's got a damn smile on his face. I can respect the hell out of that. So I really want him on just because I want to show people that, hey, even though we're Asperger's, all going to have like bad days and trauma, but that doesn't mean we can't still be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. You're exactly right. All right. So Keanu, who else is on your top list of people that you want to interview?
Oh my, here, why not just, hold on, let me pull up the list.
All right.
It's a big, almighty God bazooka list here. we went through celebrities. I wrote celebrities like through on like for section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, section 5, section 6 for ideas, but in the end I guess they're alternatives. So let me see what I can find here. Someone who I've always wanted. Oh, here's someone for you. Joe Frost, Super Nanny, and she is awesome.
That's really cool. So, all right. So we got the Super Nanny. We got
Super Nanny. Keanu
Reeves. All right. This is eclectic. I like it.
Joe Kenda from Homicide Hunter. He's on the American Detective series now. What's interesting about him is, believe it or not, fun fact for you, after going to the Homicide Detective, he decided to be a school bus driver. But what I did not know was, I looked it up more, he was a special needs school bus driver.
That's
after
cool.
The detective series. I thought, that guy is... I just wanted to hear about it, because I think if he heard about it, I mean, he's kind of a private guy, but I think if he heard about it, he would be... I think, just based on my opinion, I think he'd do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you reached out to his people at all? Because that seems like a no-brainer.
I can't find them.
Interesting.
Like, I tried looking up contact info, publicist, manager, agent. Can't find nothing.
Okay. Well, we'll put that out into the positive podcasting ether here with my listenership, and let's see if we can get a contact for Mr. Sam here to get in front of some of these people. So.
And here's one more for you. I got.
All right.
This is a big one. Here's a big one for you. Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
His stabby mouth. A lot of people get offended by it.
Yeah.
I love it. Personally. I'm like that too, because I have a tendency to be blunt and tell people to, F off as well. So I'm like,
I'd be scared of Gordon, but I see why you like him. Yeah, straight. That'd be a great podcasting episode for sure.
I've heard there's a soft side to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, we'll keep an eye out and ear to the ground on contacts for those people. And dude, the thing about podcasters or being in the podcasting space, we're all great networkers and we all help each other level up. So I know there's probably somebody out there listening in that may have a contact to one of those people you just mentioned, and they're going to want to reach out and they're going to want to make that connection for you. So
I'd appreciate it if they did, honestly, or even at least to try. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if you do it and it goes kaploopy, then you're good. But if you try, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get back to the monetization question just a little bit as we kind of wind things down. One thing I forgot to mention about the Teespring website that I gave you is that they do all of the shipping. They do all the fulfillment for you. So you guys will never have to pay for shipping.
Really? Okay.
All of that is automated. So, and you have a web link and you can create and put your logo on all the things that you want, have an online store, doesn't cost you anything. and then you just set your price, and then they deduct the shipping and the tax and the price of the material off of that. So you could set your price at $25 for a t-shirt. You know, it's going to cost them 15. So you make a profit of $10 every single time a t-shirt, but they ship it. They do all the fulfillment. So it's way easier. So I would highly recommend jumping into that with your merch. All right.
All right. Yes.
All right. So
yes, sir.
There's that. I would explore the workshop idea. Now, are you doing some mentorship, coaching, speaking?
I'm not. I do offer podcast coaching sessions, but this might give us some information here. What I'm going to do is through my college, I have met a connection, and he is going to take me under his wing. Basically, I'm doing an internship with him, with the media. I get to help out with the media side of a certain wrestling show that I am extremely excited about.
Nice.
And I am thrilled about that.
Nice. Well, that's super exciting. So honestly, man, like you're a young man. How old are you? Are you 18, 19? 19. You're in college. Like leverage this podcasting thing as like it's a brand, it's a media company. It provides you so much like just exposure.
I finally found my niche on my niche. I haven't found a niche on this until I found this, and I am all hands on deck for it.
Yeah.
And
just leverage the heck out of it.
I'm just saying the good news. I'm excited because I get to meet Mick Foley again.
Nice.
Tonight at the Comedy Attic, hopefully, and I get to watch him do his thing, and because he's from Bloomington originally.
That's super cool.
You know, while we're at it, let me ask you this. When I go to the Comedy Attic, I don't want to steal Mick Foley's time. That's not my goal at all. Like, not at all. I haven't registered anything. But is there a way, like I could, like, say something or promote a little bit, like, somehow? I mean. So,
is he performing at the Comedy Attic?
I think what's going to happen, I'm not for sure. This is all I know. He's there. He's going to speak. He's going to perform for a little bit. And then people are going to go up and talk to him.
Yeah.
We're going to wear our shirts too. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would go up and talk to him and like, obviously remind him like, hey, I'm Sam. You came on my show, my podcast, and we talk and then honestly, he'll probably bring it up like, and maybe he may even be like, hey, everybody, you got to check out Sam's podcast. It's awesome. Or something like that. Like that's the angle that I would take to leverage that. But then here's where you could really leverage it. You have your editor there to take a video and get in there together and go, hey, Mick, could you do a quick shout out for my podcast? And you record that and you put it up on Instagram, tag him, and he'll probably reshare it out, man.
Yeah, and he did that once, but he might do that again for me. That's a good idea. Thank you. I did not think of that at all.
You leverage that, like have him like body slam you through a table if you can, like whatever it takes.
No, I'll ask him to put the mandible claw on me for real.
Yes. Onto a bed of tacks, and
oh Lord have mercy. I think my back will be bleeding too much.
Well, I think that like anytime you get an opportunity to interact with somebody live like that, getting in there, screen time, face to face, and have that social proof of like, I'm connected to these type of people. People are going to be impressed by that. It's going to help you book other larger guests, but it's great for your social media feed. And if they can reshare it out, that's big time, man. That you'll gain some followers for your brand and for your show. And that's an easy scoop up. So that is a definite. Okay. So I feel like we've had a lot of really good ideas. If somebody
gave me a full Post-it note list of ideas.
Post-it note achieved. That is excellent, Sam. So I want you to make sure that people know how to get a hold of you. If they've got one of these connections that they want to make, how do they get in touch with you to introduce you to Keanu Reeves?
Yes, sir. So if you want to you can find me on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, LinkedIn, Stitcher. And if you want to, and my website's info@autismrocksandrolls.com, and I'm on probably all major media platforms. Ulysses, it's there. I'm on YouTube as well. But I have a website, autismrocksandrolls.com. If you want to see, that has everything and all my services and every part of my episodes, everything on there. But if you want to help me find those contacts and you want to talk to me and we can arrange something, either go to the free consultation call on the website and we can talk for a little bit, set a time, or email me at info@autismrocksandrolls.com, or you can call my cell at 812-797-9045, or call my editor's cell at 812-699-7811.
Outstanding. Sam Mitchell from Autism Rocks and Rolls. I would love for you guys to reach out to Sam if you have some interesting people that you think you should be interviewing on a show, or if you have a connection to somebody that you asked for on today's episode. That would be amazing. Sam, my podcasting brother, we found out we only live like 20 minutes away from each other, so we're gonna hang out.
I'm definitely gonna coffee with you at some point, and if I need any more advice, I'll definitely give you a holler.
Outstanding. All right. So you guys know how to get a hold of Sam, and let's support his show. We had a lot of great ideas here today, Pod Pals. I want you guys to think about some of the ideas that Sam and I discussed. If something makes sense, implement it for your own show. And as always, I'll sign off wishing you all health, happiness, and many downloads. We'll see you on the next episode.
And thank you all for